If you have a moment, please consider with me Skype, specifically with regard to cinematography, evoking the three-dimensional world, the performer, and some theoretical questions. I'm going to talk about all four of these categories, but not in any particular order, and definitely not in isolation because they are so interconnected. First, let's talk about types of light. Low light, that happens too much. And fluorescence, they get a bad rap, but they can be lovely. Natural light, interesting. Incandescence, they are everywhere. And here we have candlelight above and below. We have Christmas lights, lights from a gas stove, and lights from an iPhone 4. Now consider with me the position of light. Here, exact same light, different position, different look. Again, same light, different position. Fluorescent in front, fluorescent behind, different impact. Here we have a little demo of moving the light around and what it does. A special warning about backlight and uplight. Those are hard looks for people to pull off. 360-degree room diagnostic. That's what you want to do when you're going to make a call or expect a call. Go in the room, look around, and see where the sweet spot is, the nasty spot, and the honey spot. Every room has a sweet one. And what is sweet at noon can be nasty in at 4. That's good to know. Snack prep. Super important. The snacks we eat say so much about us and our values. And sometimes we don't want people to know what those values are, so it's important to know how to embed your snack in another form. That's what's happening above. Below, I know it's hard to see because it's happening so fast, but trying to show you the visual impact of different snacks. All I can tell you is stay away from the Parmesan, cheap Parmesan, and dry top ramen, and go for the applesauce, really lovely mouthfeel. Above you see I'm mixing chia with Diet Coke, which is a great option. It tastes delicious, and people say, oh, you're an athlete. Did you read that book? Okay, depth of field, the foot. Do it with the foot. It's the easiest, fastest way. Everyone has a foot. The power of the dance. Love the dance. The dance is so effective at communicating things that language stumble and trip over. And it's not used often enough in Skype, and I think it should be. And the dance with snacks, which inherently have texture, digestion, flavor, smells, and depth of field, they, along with the dance, evoke the three-dimensional world, which is super, super important. And again, the dance, it says things that can't be said any other way. And I know it's kind of efficient, like this is just an excerpt of a conversation. Words can be more efficient, but there is something lovely about the dance. Okay, the angle, camera angle, this is so important because so often people have their camera in an angle that is maybe not the best choice for them. Please, oh please consider lifting up the angle with either a yoga block or a couple boxes of Cheez-Its. Warning again about the low angle, and again, that's what is the case in most computers. Please consider with me keeping busy. Project table, project are so important, but you want people to see what you're doing, because if you're just doing it on your tabletop, they won't see it. So I've invented this this little table with 5-inch screws. Raise the action up so that it can be involved, and that way you can say one thing, you can do a project that says a totally different thing, creating kind of intellectual montage, thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Okay, masking, that's what's happening here. So important to challenge and resist the tyranny of the rectangle. This rectangle is everywhere, and I have to say, it's completely arbitrary. Back in the day, those film boys, they could have done anything with the shape of a film, but they went with the rectangle. They could have gone the oval, and I wish they had, but they didn't, and we need to resist it because it's everywhere, in the paper, everywhere. It's an issue. Okay, again, know thyself. What, where, what do you want to say? And again, there's no value judgment here. I know, I get it. The idea of beauty changes over time, and it's culturally constructed. It's about choices. What do you want? But again, special warning, across cultures and across time, the chin down. I don't know when it's ever been popular, so you might want to think about that. Okay, gels and filters. Here, I'm putting some theatrical gels, which I think are great. They really kind of add a mood to a conversation, which is huge. If you don't have access to theatrical gels, I recommend little magic markers, a little more subtle but quite powerful. Above, petroleum jelly when you're feeling old. Not that there's anything wrong with feeling old, but it softens the look. And if you want to do something a little more abstract, a little more impressionistic, more accurately, use Preparation H. It's great for dances and when you're feeling really French, really, really great. Love it there. I want to speak now, not specifically about what's going on to do, it's just more ideas here, but say it is important to participate with technology. It's important to be engaged and be proactive and not sit passively by. There's so many situations in our lives where we have no control, but the Skype arena is not one of them. We should be involved. Okay, the close-up, your call, good or bad, I don't know, you decide. The appearance of emotion. I don't think people realize what they look like when they're having extreme emotions, and I just wanted to bring that up. Like, maybe think about it before you let it out, because I think of the pathetic fallacy, the idea that sometimes feeling angry isn't, and expressing anger is not the most effective way to communicate anger. Like, there's a better way. Texture, love it. Again, evoking that three-dimensional world whenever you can. It's huge, and it's embodied, and it's rich. It's delightful. The mirror is really an early ancestor to Skype, so I always like to get it involved as a little homage to my ancestors of the two-dimensional world, looking at myself, Jacques Lacan, the mirror stage, do. Costumes, outfits, again, just getting comfortable, expressing yourself, giving more information, creating some intellectual montage in the Eisenstein tradition where you're saying one thing. We can't do quick edits, but we can have our shirt say one thing and our outfit say another. The audience, huge. Who's watching? Is it just us? Is it someone on the other line? What is the impact of where we're looking, if we're looking here or if we're looking at ourselves? And I would just say, heads up, it's super cool to listen to other people. The set, this is, Bizan and the importance of the environment and objects in space. And again, you can say so much with your background that you don't want to say with language. Don't rely on just that. But the colors and the impact, product placement, all opportunities. Rash, the last thing I want to talk about, huge for evoking the 3D world. The idea that we can scratch, and this is just done with magic marker. If we scratch, it evokes a kinesthetic response in the viewer, and they scratch, and again, connecting us on that kind of physical, cellular level, which is great. Okay, so I just wanted you to consider Skype for a moment. Think about cinematography, the 3D world, the performer, and some theoretical questions just to stab at it, just putting it out there. Thought I'd mention it. Please, oh please, hoping that you'll make good choices. That's what I'm thinking.